You don't need a secret formula. You don't need a hidden shortcut. You only need the courage to stop chasing the magical answer and finally face the truth. Success has been waiting on you the whole time, and today, you're going to see exactly how. Not because the secret is hard to find, but because it was never hidden in the first place. It was right in front of you, inside your habits, inside your decisions, inside your discipline. But most people refuse to look there. They want a shortcut, a hack, a magic key. If you stay till the end of this message, you're going to discover the real path. Not the one that markets sell you, not the one people fantasize about, but the one that actually transforms your life. By the final minute, you won't just know the path, you'll be ready to walk it. Success is rarely the result of dramatic breakthroughs or sudden flashes of brilliance. It is built quietly in the unnoticed moments of discipline that accumulate over time. Most people believe success is something mysterious, hidden in books, locked inside the minds of the wealthy, or reserved for a special few who somehow know the right strategies. But the truth is far less glamorous and far more empowering. Success is the result of simple disciplines repeated daily, long before the results become visible, long before anyone applauds, and long before you feel like you're winning. Every person dreams of achieving something: better health, financial stability, stronger relationships, or a more meaningful life. Yet only a small percentage actually turn those dreams into reality. Why? Because people look at the final result of someone's success and miss the countless small habits that built it. They see the reward, but not the routine. They want the achievement, but not the repetition that comes before it. The world is filled with people waiting for inspiration or motivation to strike before they take action. But what truly builds a life of success is the discipline to do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. There is a powerful truth hidden inside the daily actions you ignore. Every choice you make today is a vote for the person you will become tomorrow. The tiny habits you repeat, often unconsciously, are shaping your future in ways larger than you realize. Success does not come from one massive effort. It comes from consistency. Just as a tree grows not from one day of rain, but from an entire season of nourishment, your life grows not from one moment of effort, but from small, repeated actions that compound over time. People often underestimate the power of small disciplines because the results aren't immediate. If you read 10 pages today, nothing changes. If you save a small amount of money this week, nothing noticeable happens. If you exercise for 10 minutes, you don't instantly transform your body. But repeat that same tiny discipline for weeks, months, or years, and the compounding effect becomes undeniable. The challenge isn't the discipline itself. The challenge is believing that such small, almost invisible actions matter. But they do. They always do. Consider the opposite: small errors in judgment. If you skip the book today, nothing terrible happens. If you avoid saving money this month, life continues as usual. If you choose unhealthy food for dinner, no immediate damage is visible. That is what makes neglect dangerous. It hides its consequences until it is too late. Failure, like success, is built gradually. A person rarely ruins their life in a single moment. It happens through years of small, careless decisions that accumulate into regret. The difference between success and failure is not found in dramatic events. It is found in the daily disciplines or daily neglects that quietly build your destiny. There is something remarkable about the human mind. It thrives on patterns. Once you choose to follow a discipline repeatedly, it begins to feel natural. What once felt difficult becomes a normal part of your identity. Small disciplines shape your habits, and your habits shape your character. The person who practices a small discipline every day develops self-trust. They begin to believe in their ability to follow through. They develop confidence, not the loud kind, but the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can rely on yourself. People often search for motivation, but motivation is unreliable. It rises and falls like the weather. Discipline, however, is steady. When motivation fades, discipline carries you. When distractions appear, discipline guides you. When emotions fluctuate, discipline remains constant. Instead of waiting to feel inspired, Choose to act from discipline. Over time, discipline creates momentum, and momentum makes success feel almost effortless. Imagine two people standing at the same starting line. One chooses to practice small disciplines daily. The other chooses comfort, waiting for inspiration. At first, they look nearly identical, but after 90 days, one begins to slightly improve while the other stays the same. After a year, the difference becomes noticeable. After 3 years, it becomes massive. After 10 years, they look like they came from entirely different worlds. Yet the difference between them was never one huge decision. It was 100 tiny ones repeated consistently. Success becomes predictable when discipline becomes part of your lifestyle. You don't have to guess whether your life will improve. You only need to observe your daily habits. If your habits align with your dreams, your success is guaranteed. If your habits contradict your dreams, your frustration is guaranteed. Life is always giving feedback, and habits are the clearest indicators of your future. The reality is simple discipline is not about perfection. It is about persistence. You will miss days. You will stumble. You will feel tired, bored, or discouraged. But discipline means returning to your habits again and again. Some days will be strong. Some days will be weak. But every day you show up adds a brick to the foundation of your future. Discipline is not meant to make your life harder. It is meant to make your life easier in the long run. The more disciplined you're present, the more rewarding your future becomes. There is a beautiful thing that happens when you follow simple disciplines. Daily, your life begins to expand. You start to think clearer. You gain energy. You build confidence. Opportunities appear that once seemed out of reach. People begin to respect your commitment. You develop a reputation, not from talking about what you will do, but from consistently doing it. When you understand that simple disciplines repeated daily build extraordinary lives, you stop chasing secrets. You stop searching for shortcuts. You stop comparing yourself to others. You realize that the key was always inside you, waiting for you to put it into practice. When you choose discipline over distraction, growth over excuses, and action over delay, you step onto a path that guarantees progress. The pace may be slow, but the direction is powerful. The results may take time, but the transformation is inevitable. Your results never change because of a secret, a strategy, or a hidden formula. They change only when you change. That is the core truth most people spend their entire lives avoiding. People look outward for improvement, new plans, new opportunities, new methods, while refusing to look inward at the one thing that truly determines their destiny, their own personal growth. The world around you shifts only after the world within you shifts. And until you understand this, you repeat the same cycles year after year, wondering why nothing improves. Many people live in a constant search for something external to save them. They think a new job, a new environment, a new habit tracker, or a new tool will finally unlock their success. But what they fail to realize is that the same mindset that created their current situation will create the same results no matter where they go. A person with the same thoughts, the same beliefs, the same fears, and the same patterns will simply rebuild the same life over and over again, even if they change the scenery. You cannot escape yourself. Wherever you go, you take your thinking with you. And your thinking is the architect of your results. There is a moment in every person's life when they discover that their choices, not their circumstances, determine their future. That moment is powerful. It's uncomfortable because it removes excuses, but it is also liberating. When you finally accept that your life is shaped by your philosophy, your attitude, your mindset, and your decisions, you stop waiting for a magical breakthrough and start working on yourself. That shift is where real success begins. The moment you grow, everything connected to you grows. The moment you elevate your thinking, your opportunities elevate. The moment you expand your vision, your actions expand. Your life is simply a reflection of who you are internally. People often assume that results come from action alone, but action is driven by belief. What you believe about yourself determines what you attempt. What you attempt determines what you achieve. A person who doesn't believe in their ability to succeed will avoid challenges, procrastinate, doubt themselves, and quit early. A person who believes they are capable will take risks, persist longer, stay disciplined, and seek opportunities. Two people can receive the same advice, read the same books, and learn the same strategies, yet one succeeds while the other stagnates. The difference isn't the information, it is who they are when they receive it. If your mindset is weak, every opportunity becomes a burden. If your mindset is strong, every obstacle becomes a stepping stone. The world does not change for you, you change for the world. Many people imagine success is a matter of learning new tactics, but tactics are useless in the hands of a person who hasn't transformed. You cannot put extraordinary results on top of an ordinary mindset. You cannot build a powerful life on top of weak habits. You cannot expect abundance while maintaining scarcity thinking. Life will always give you a return equal to your personal development. When people hear that results change only when they change, they often mistake it for vague motivation. But this is one of the most practical truths in life. Think about your daily decisions. The version of you who wakes up early, studies consistently, invests wisely, and disciplines their emotions will naturally produce different results than the version of you who wakes up late, procrastinates, avoids challenges, and reacts impulsively. The change in results is simply the measurable outcome of the change in character. Growth happens internally long before it shows externally. Personal growth doesn't always feel dramatic. Sometimes it feels like tension, discomfort, uncertainty, or even fear. Growth pushes you beyond your old limits. The reason your life hasn't improved yet is because you've been living within the boundaries of your old identity. You cannot achieve goals that your current mindset rejects. Every dream requires a higher version of you. Every achievement demands that you outgrow the person you were. Your responsibilities, opportunities, relationships, and income will rise only to the level of your personal development. There is a saying that if someone dropped $1 million into your hands, but you had not developed the mindset, discipline, and maturity to manage it, you would lose it quickly. But if you had the mindset of a millionaire and someone took your money away, you would rebuild it again. Why? Because wealth is not money. Wealth is a mindset. Fitness is not a gym membership. Fitness is a mindset. Confidence is not charisma. Confidence is a mindset. Everything begins internally, not externally. Most people want to change their results without changing their patterns. They want success, but don't want to change their habits. They want growth, but don't want to let go of old excuses. They want better outcomes, but don't want to challenge their beliefs. They want transformation while clinging to comfort. But growth and comfort do not coexist. The very fact that you want something different implies you must become someone different. It is easy to forget that your life right now is the sum of your past choices and beliefs. Every thought you accepted, every habit you practiced, every fear you entertained, every excuse you repeated, every discipline you avoided has shaped your current reality. And the good news is that this means your future is completely in your hands. If you shift your perspective, your life shifts. If you improve your habits, your results improve. If you elevate your standards, your outcomes elevate. You don't need a better year. You need a better you. Changing yourself is not about becoming someone else. It's about uncovering the disciplined, focused, committed version of yourself that has been buried under years of doubt and hesitation. Growth is a process of revealing, not replacing. You are not adding greatness to your life. You are revealing the greatness already present within you. As you refine your mindset, you refine your decisions. As you refine your decisions, you refine your results. The process flows from the inside out. Every major transformation in life starts with a simple realization. Your life improves when you improve. The more you evolve internally, the more your external world aligns with your new level of thinking. People will treat you differently when you treat yourself differently. Opportunities will appear when you elevate your readiness. Doors will open when your mindset matches the level of the goals you seek. You don't wait for life to change. You rise to a level where change becomes unavoidable. At every stage of growth, you discover that your old limitations were never real. They were mental walls you accepted. The moment your thinking expands, those walls collapse. You begin to see possibilities where you once saw obstacles. You begin to think in terms of responsibility rather than blame, discipline rather than excuses, growth rather than comfort. You start to realize that the world is not holding you back. Your old self was. When you outgrow that version of yourself, your results naturally rise to meet the new person you have become. The real path to success is not built on secrets, shortcuts, or sudden strokes of luck. It is built on a foundation of responsibility, consistency, and personal transformation. Most people spend their lives searching for a strategy that will allow them to skip the hard parts, a method that guarantees success without requiring real change. But the truth is simple. The quality of your life rises only to the level of responsibility you accept, the consistency you maintain, and the person you decide to become. Success is not an event. It is a reflection of your character. Responsibility is the first step because it places the power back in your hands. Many people postpone their growth by blaming circumstances, blaming time, blaming others, or blaming the world. They believe their challenges are unique, their disadvantages unfair, and their situation fixed. But the moment you stop blaming and start accepting responsibility, you shift from victim to architect. Responsibility does not mean everything is your fault. It means you choose to respond in a way that moves you forward instead of keeping you stuck. The moment you say, "My life is my responsibility," you take control of your future. Responsibility lifts you out of excuses and puts you into action. It forces you to confront habits you've hidden behind. It makes you aware that if something is going to change, you must be the one to change it. People often believe responsibility is heavy, but it is actually freedom. When you know that your decisions shape your tomorrow, you no longer wait for luck or external support. You begin to act intentionally. You begin to choose your words, your habits, your environment, and your mindset with purpose. Responsibility sharpens your awareness. It breaks the illusion that someone else will show up and fix your life. It reminds you that you are the one who builds your story day by day, choice by choice. Then comes consistency, the quiet force that transforms average effort into extraordinary results. Anyone can be motivated for a day. Anyone can be disciplined for a moment. But success belongs to the person who remains consistent long after the excitement fades. Consistency is the bridge between goals and achievement, between dreams and results. It is the daily repetition of simple actions that compound into something powerful over time. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to be consistent. Consistency teaches you patience. It teaches you faith in the process. It shows you that real change is subtle at first, almost invisible. You may practice discipline for days or weeks without seeing progress. But consistency isn't about seeing results immediately. It is about trusting that the small actions, repeated without fail, will eventually transform your life. Every day you remain consistent, you reinforce the identity of someone reliable, someone committed, someone moving forward. Consistency builds confidence because it proves to you that you can depend on yourself. When you keep your word to yourself day after day, you cultivate inner strength that no one can take from you. A person who practices responsibility and consistency begins to experience a deeper transformation. They start to change, not just in behavior, but in identity. Personal transformation is the most powerful ingredient of success because it reshapes the foundation upon which all your actions are built. You cannot achieve a great life while holding on to limiting beliefs. You cannot rise to new levels with the same mindset that kept you stuck. Personal transformation requires honesty with yourself. It demands that you confront your excuses, your fears, your procrastination, and your self-doubt. It pushes you to examine the stories you tell yourself and replace them with beliefs that serve your growth rather than your comfort. Transformation does not happen overnight. It happens gradually through small shifts in perspective. One day you realize you no longer fear challenges the way you once did. Another day you notice you're able to stay disciplined even when you don't feel motivated. Over time, your reactions change. Your thinking changes. Your expectations change. The person you once were begins to fade. You become stronger, wiser, more focused, more intentional. You start making decisions not from emotion, but from clarity. You begin seeking growth instead of avoiding discomfort. You take actions that align with your future rather than your past. When responsibility, consistency, and transformation work together, they create a powerful force. Responsibility gives you control. Consistency gives you momentum. Transformation gives you identity. When these three combine, success becomes inevitable. You stop wishing for a better life and start building one. You stop chasing quick rewards and start building long-term foundations. You stop hoping things will change and start changing yourself in ways that make change unavoidable. Many people underestimate how interconnected these three elements are. Without responsibility, consistency fades. Without consistency, transformation stalls. Without transformation, responsibility feels heavy. Each one supports and strengthens the others. Together, they form the backbone of a successful life. Responsibility makes you aware of what needs to be done, but consistency makes you follow through. As you follow through, you begin to transform. As you transform, your responsibilities feel lighter because you have grown into someone more capable of carrying them. Transformation increases your capacity. Consistency turns that capacity into results. Responsibility directs those results toward the life you want. Success does not arrive suddenly. It arrives gradually. It arrives when the person you become aligns with the future you desire. Most people want new results without becoming a new version of themselves. They want improved outcomes without improved habits. They want a better life without a better mindset. They want growth without discomfort. But personal transformation challenges you to step beyond your old patterns. It demands that you release everything that no longer serves your progress. Every decision you make either reinforces the person you are or the person you are becoming. Responsibility pushes you toward the future. Consistency carries you there. Transformation ensures you stay aligned with the path. The process may feel slow, but it is sure. You begin to notice that the things that once intimidated you no longer have the same power. The goals that once felt impossible now feel achievable. The habits that once felt difficult begin to feel natural. You evolve into someone capable of maintaining success, not just achieving it temporarily. The real path to success is not complicated. It is not glamorous. It is not hidden. It is built one responsible choice, one consistent action, and one inner shift at a time. It is built through effort, awareness, discipline, and growth. It is built from the inside out. When you commit to responsibility, when you practice consistency, and when you embrace personal transformation, you move into a life where success is not something you chase, but something you naturally attract.